What you've basically got here is the engineers each have a pit cart to themselves, and on the screens they can basically see the live feed, so they know what's going on in the race, they can see where their cars are and that kind of thing. And on top of that they've got the timing screen, so they can see also where they are relative to the opposition, and mainly the telemetry. That's what we use to check how the car is functioning and operating. It's all live, so there's no delay in what's coming back to us. There's other bits and pieces that you can see around, like the stop board here, which is essential for the drivers to be able to see where they need to come into the pits. Basically, there's a fuel rig up here, which is obviously where we fuel from. It gives us a readout of how much has gone into the car. In addition, you can see the seats are hanging up there. Those are actually inserts because each driver is obviously a different size. We need to kind of go back to the garage now, so we need to get out of the way from these guys here. Basically, this is the last place you want to come back to in the race, because this usually means that you've got damage on the car and we need to sort stuff out. And it's all about preparation with the racing that we do. The minimum time that you can spend doing any of this stuff, like repairing things and that sort of thing, it makes a huge difference. So in the garage itself, all the toolboxes are set up in order to make sure that we've got everything available and it's quickly to hand if we need to do a repair. So that's basically how we set out the main portion of the garage. I'm just going to explain a little bit about the tyres. The only two types of tyre we can use in America. There's the wet tyre and there's a slick tyre. The slick tyre actually comes in a number of different compounds, whether it's soft or a medium, and all of those kind of things really depend on the temperature that we're operating at. So for example, as it's getting cooler, we may consider going to a softer option of tyre. If you look down here, you can obviously see all the tyres for both the cars. They're separated out into two sets, one for each car, and they're prepared in terms of what the engineers need for each car and what they basically want to do with them through the next, say, 4 or 5 hours. It's about endurance racing, so it's trying to minimise the amount of time you spend on the one tyres. We have a lot of that information which is based on lap time, but a lot of it's also information that we gain back from the Michelin engineers who do a lot of analysis on the tyres as they go through the race week. Back here we've got a lot of the spares and that sort of thing that we have prepared for the race. So what you can see in front of you is the nose for the number 1 car. It's basically prepared per car, so everything's then allocated and laid out in a specific order so that if there's an issue, it can all be found very, very quickly and there's no wasting of time in the pits. Everything that you can think of that ever needs to be replaced is situated in this area. We actually have a set mileage that we can achieve on the cars, and that goes along the lines of, it's mainly based around Le Mans and making sure that we can achieve the distance at Le Mans without any failures. So a lot of our parts, when they go on the car, we actually already know if they've been used or whether they're new, and if they're used, what the mileage on those is. And that's actually vital because it's all about reliability, and Audi prides itself on the reputation that it's got with that. So all of that is encompassed in pretty much everything you see around you here.